Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are in your day. I thought I'd record a slow and steady practice for you today. Sometimes it can be a little bit daunting scrolling through all these different videos. You may be thinking, oh no, what am I going to have to do? So this one is a very slow and gentle practice, really aimed at anybody that wants to get onto their mat. Of course, I'd like you to listen to your body. If it doesn't feel okay for a particular pose, then do adjust or do come out of it. You may well need your yoga block if you have one, or a yoga belt. It can be a strap, anything you have at home. And we are going to get going. So we're going to sit on our block to start. If you don't have a block, you can use a small pillow to sit on. So come round, cross the legs, and let's sit on that support. Making sure that you feel comfortable and the spine can lengthen. And we're going to close our eyes. So I'm going to encourage you just to place one hand on your abdomen and one hand on your heart. Relax your shoulders, your jaw and your tongue. And let's start to inhale all of the way into our body. So you inhale and just feel these areas expand. As you exhale, just being aware of these areas, releasing, relaxing, letting go of any tension. That lovely long inhale and that very slow exhale. Again, just slowing everything down. Let's take one more breath here. Starting to blink the eyes open. We're going to take the arms upwards, so stretching out of the waist. Reaching up, maybe you feel like a yawn or a sigh here as you lift out of your waist. And we're then going to take a twist. So we're going to send our left hand behind and our right hand either to that knee or maybe onto that thigh as you twist towards your left shoulder. That spine is lovely and long. And how often through your day are you aware of your spine? Everything comes from the spine. It's the first part that's formed in the embryo. We need to keep our spine young and flexible. Let's inhale, reach all of the way up. Let's exhale, take that twist the opposite way. Pull your right shoulder back. Remember that spine is lovely and long. Inhale, let's come back to center. And exhale, release down. I'm going to get you to come away from your block. And just maybe make sure it's your left ankle that's crossed in first and then your right. Doesn't matter too much, we will do both sides, but just for ease. And then I'm going to get you to grab your block, or maybe it's your pillow, whatever you're using, and just place that in front of you. We're going to take a walk down towards that support. Now it doesn't matter if it's not our head that touches. Maybe we're going to bring it a little closer and we're going to rest our elbows on that support and just cup your head with your hands, or sometimes it feels quite nice to put the thumbs into that third eye pressure point. Particularly if you feel there's tension in the head. So you're going to choose that version that suits you today. And maybe as you hold, you feel that you can go deeper into that pose. You should be feeling it into that right glute, lower back, that hip. And try and just let the rest of the body go. So the shoulders, make sure that jaw is soft, there's no clenching. And just as we did at the start, just come back to your lovely long breath. Your self-care tool to help you relax. Help you let go of any stress, any tension. And your self-care tool to slow down. Maybe you've been very busy lately and self-care hasn't entered your thoughts. Now is your time. We're going to take that slow walk back up, and we're going to change the cross of the legs. So maybe it's the right foot that comes in first now, and then the left. So you're kind of making a little bit of a square shape. We're going to fold back down, whatever version that you have just done. You're going to come back to that same version, resting and supporting the head. And just send your breath into any tightness. Where can you feel that the body is holding? And come back to that lovely long breath. Breathing in that prana, that life force energy. And then take that very, very slow walk back up. Just shift block your support away for a moment. Let's come round onto our hands and our knees in what we call table pose. Just make sure your hands are under your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. We're going to do our cat-cow breath now, and our cat-cow movement. So as you inhale, you take that dip into the back, so your belly is going towards your mat, you look up, and then as you exhale, you start to roll your spine up towards the ceiling, and you tuck in your chin, like an angry cat. I won't get you to make any sounds like I do in my children's classes. We're just going to use our breath. So in that cat-cow, inhaling and exhaling, rolling the spine up. Let's just take a few more here in your own time. And let's do one more. Maybe letting that breath travel through the whole length of the spine. Coming back to table. We're going to shift our knees as wide as our mat and bring our big toes together. Let's sit back towards our heels and walk our hands down to the top of our mat, resting the forehead down to the ground, or again you can grab some support. Really make sure your arms are lovely and long, reaching the fingers that little bit more, sitting down towards your heels. Breathing in through the nose. Maybe it feels good to take that sigh out of the mouth. So ideally we should always be breathing in and out through the nose. The nose naturally cleanses our breath. And there has been lots of studies to say that those that just breathe through the mouth, which can happen, we lose track and our breath becomes more about breathing through the mouth than the nose. And those people are much more prone to illness, to viruses, because they're not getting that cleanse of the breath when they breathe in. In yoga, we say the mouth is for eating and the nose is for breathing. So let's just take one more full breath here with that awareness at the nose. We're going to take a walk back up, bringing our body back up. Just shift those knees back in so you're in line with your hips again. And we're going to take a walk back now. So our hands rest down on the ground. Our fingers are pointing towards us. And maybe here just feels enough, maybe just to take that squeeze and push the chest up towards the ceiling. Maybe that feels good today. If you want something a little stronger, you start to push up the hips as well. You can keep your chin tucked in, or maybe you prefer to take your head back. Many options. Squeezing the glutes if you come up. And then as you exhale, roll back down. We're going to roll all the way forwards, keeping our arms alongside our legs and resting in our full child's pose, letting the shoulders just feel heavy. You're not holding anything, you're just letting them go. We then take that roll back up. We're going to plant our hands on our mat. We're going to tuck our toes and start to straighten our legs. So we walk our hands towards our legs. Let the body just feel heavy as it folds over the legs. If you've any lower back issues, keep that bend in the knees. Everything is heavy. Legs are long. We roll all the way up. Our head is the last thing to come up. We take that long breath in again, bring the arms up. And then we exhale to our heart center. And I'd like you just to think of something that you're grateful for in this moment. When we bring gratitude into our day, it's very difficult to think of angry thoughts or stress. We just feel gratitude, even for the very small things. We're going to inhale, bring the arms all of the way up. We're going to exhale and fold all of the way back down. You now just to place your hands on your mat, or they can be on your block. Your block can be at different heights. We're going to send our left hand into the middle of our mat or the middle of our block, and we're going to open up with our right hand. So sending the right hand up towards the ceiling. The hips don't move, the hips stay dropping down towards the ground. We're going to change sides. So we're going to plant that right hand down and we're going to open up with our left arm, taking that twist through the spine. And our spine needs to be moved in all directions to stay healthy. Dropping both hands back down. We're going to take that long roll up as we inhale, stretching the arms all of the way up and exhaling back to our heart center. This time I'm going to get you to take your hands back. So squeeze your hands behind you, link your fingers, pull back into your arms. Inhale, chest up, look up. And then as you exhale, hinge from your hips and fold all of the way down, sending the hands up towards the ceiling. Holding here, a lovely long, long breath. Squeezing those shoulder blades, releasing any tightness. Let your arms go and hang back alongside your feet. Plant your hands if you can. And let's bend into our knees and then straighten our legs. So we take that bend and we take that straighten. One more bend and straighten. We get you to walk down your mat so you come into a plank pose. You can drop your knees straight away if you need to. So you can drop your knees down. Maybe it feels good to stay just where you are. We're going to shift the right foot forward and hinge back into that left leg. Once that right foot comes forward, bring your hands inside edge of that right foot. Remember, you can keep your knee down if you need to. We're going to take an open with that right arm and twist and look up towards our right hand. Holding here. We're going to frame our right foot and we're going to step it back into our plank pose. Remember, our knees can be down. From here, I'm going to get you to drop your knees. If you haven't already, sit back towards your heels. Take that long stretching cobra. And then come into down dog, push back. Pushing into those heels, sending those legs long. We're going to step forward with our left foot now, top of our mat. Our hands are on the inside edge of that left foot. Push back into that right heel. We're going to take that open left arm, reaching upwards, holding here, and we can drop our knee if we need to. Let's frame that left foot, step back into your plank, drop your knees, sit back to your heels, resting in that child's pose. Coming into down dog, push back, just those feet, legs long, arms are squeezing inwards and your palms are flat down. Stretching through all 5 fingers on each side. You're spreading the fingers. And this time we're going to take a walk towards our hands. And we're going to send our feet out to the side of our mat. Bring the heels together and come into our squat. An asana pose. Draw your elbows inside edge of those knees. And you can always grab your block to sit on. We're opening, we're relaxing our shoulders. Hands are at our heart center. Spine is long. Finding that lovely long breath again. We're going to come all the way down to our mat, so just come back and sit down. Once you're there, send your legs long and just adjust so you're sitting evenly on the sit bone. And this is where you might want your yoga belt or strap. We're going to inhale and bring our arms up. As we exhale, we start to fold towards our toes. It's not about getting our head to our toes. We want to lengthen from our lower spine. So maybe it feels better to sit on something. It will naturally just hinge you forward a little easier. So do take that option if this is a really challenging pose for you. So inhale all of the way in and then just take that slow exhale down. And maybe this is where you have your belt around your feet. And you're just using the breath to bring you down and slightly deeper. Keep your gaze towards your toes. So we're not dropping the head towards the belly, which starts to put a strain on the back. We're sending the head forward. Using that breath every time, every exhalation, maybe that's when we go a little deeper as we breathe out. And if you are practicing first thing in the morning, as I am this morning, do allow for the body to be tighter. You will notice if you do this pose later in the day, when your body has been more active, it will feel easier. So always allow, don't judge your body. It's not in the same place as it was yesterday. Always be kind and gentle and listen. We're going to inhale and come up. Exhale, release those arms. Draw in your right knee now, and we're going to place that foot on the inner leg. So left leg is straight, right foot is in. If you have any knee problems, your strap is great, rolled up and just pressed into that inner knee. You can also support your knee with some cushions or your block. So let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, take hold of that foot, that leg, your strap, you decide. Remember the gaze is forward, we're not collapsing the back. And every breath may bring you deeper as you listen to your body. And let's hold for a few more breaths. And then we inhale, we come all of the way up, and we exhale and release. And just before you release that leg, let's bring it in. Take it over our left leg and just take your left arm around it like you're hugging that knee to you. Your right hand can be back, and we're going to twist and pull that right shoulder back. So that lovely long spine again, back is straight. And we're twisting through the spine. Try and make sure your hand behind is flat. So if we do this, we put a lot of strain on the wrist. So if you feel you can't get that hand flat, then use your block. And make sure we're not collapsing back on that hand. Our spine is straight and long. Coming back to center. Send that right leg long. And let's draw in our left knee. So that foot's on the inner thigh. We're going to inhale, reach it up. And we're going to exhale and fold it down. Taking hold wherever feels good. Just ease yourself in, there's no forcing. Letting go of the ego maybe that says, get your head to your toes. Just listen to your body. And you bear in mind, quite often one side feels quite different to the other. And we need to allow for that. We're going to stay for a few more breaths. We come up as we inhale, arms long, and we release. So this time we bring that left knee in, we take it over our right. Remember, we're hugging that knee with the right hand, and it's the left hand that goes behind. We take that twist, we pull that left shoulder back, spine lovely and long. Now internal organs a lovely massage here. Ideally, you haven't just eaten. It's always good to leave about 2 hours after eating before you practice yoga, and even longer if you've had a heavy or big meal. That's why yoga's great first thing in the morning when our stomach is empty. Let's take one more breath. And come back to center. So we're going to lie down on our backs. So come all the way down, all the way back. And I'm going to get you just to send everything long on your mat. So legs long, arms long, reach your arms up and back. Push your heels away. You're stretching through the whole of the body. And then point your toes. And then push those heels away again. And then start to draw the right knee in, taking hold with your hands, squeezing that right knee in. And we're going to take hold of our foot with our right hand in half happy baby. Take that foot out to the side, bending into that knee like you're trying to drop your knee down to the ground. You can always place your left hand on your left hip just to keep the hips in line. It should feel good on the inner leg. Working into the groin and the pelvis and the hips and that lower back. Maybe here feels just enough. You can always take that leg wider. Hold on to your big toe. Back of the leg, stretching that leg long. Where are you holding on to that tension? And wherever that is, just use your breath. Feeling those areas soften and release. Take that bend back into the leg, draw that knee back into you, give it a lovely squeeze. Just roll through your ankle joint, releasing anything there, both ways. And then let that right leg come back down onto your mat, lovely and long. Push that heel away again and draw in the left knee, squeeze it in. We're going to hold on to the outer edge of our left foot with our left hand. So if you have your left hand on the inner edge of the leg and then take the hand around, hold on to that left foot. Right hand can be back on that right hip. And you want to draw and send that knee down towards the ground. So you're planting your left foot upwards like you're standing on the ceiling. Holding here, half happy baby pose. You have that option of taking that leg out. I'm not going to go too far as I have a candle right by my foot. That wouldn't be good. But you can straighten that leg long as you take it out to the left side. Breathing in for any tightness, any tension. And then bring that leg back in, hug that left knee back in, squeeze it in. Take that roll through the ankle. And the opposite way. Send that left leg long. Send the arms long again, reaching long. And then drop the arms down alongside you. We're going to find Shavasana, where we let the whole body feel heavy. So just let your feet fall out to the side. Move your arms away from the body. Palms facing upwards. And close your eyes. Our final pose of our practice, and quite often the most important one, where we find stillness. So just as we did at the start of our practice, I want you to be aware of your breath. Inhaling in through your nose, feeling the whole body expand as you inhale, and that slow exhale. And that exhale is bringing your body closer and closer to your mat. Letting go of any remaining tension. And if you have time to stay here longer, then I'd encourage you to do so. If not, you're going to draw both knees into your chest and take that squeeze of both knees in and that roll into your lower back. Just moving side to side, massaging the spine. Moving one way and the other. And then just roll yourself onto one side, just to bring your body back up. Coming back to that seated position, Sukhasana. And we're going to bring our hands to our heart center. Coming back to gratitude. So just being aware of something that you are truly grateful for in this moment. And let's bow to Namaste. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me, for taking time on your yoga mat this morning or this afternoon. You'll find more info at angelyogasurrey.co.uk. I run retreats both in the UK and Spain and teacher training courses as well. So do drop me a line if you can, and I will see you on the mat soon. Bye for now. Lots of love.